Bow. Let's get it. All right. Now we're on to Matthew 7. All right. So to start, it says judging others, right? It says, do not judge or you too will be judged. Now take in mind, this is Jesus still speaking right here. So it says, do not judge or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So that's kind of like what people call karma, you know. It says, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank that's in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. So basically, you know what I'm saying, Jesus, when he's on the mountain, he's saying, like, check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit there and say, you know what I'm saying, oh, this person's wrong for doing this or wrong for doing that. It's like, how do I say it? A lot of people are righteous in their own eyes, you know, meaning that, like, they will look down on other people or find the flaws in other people. And it's like, yo, you yourself are flawed. Like, nobody has the right to, you know what I'm saying, judge or accuse another person, because in all reality, not a single one of us is perfect. I'm going to throw these on. My eyes are a little strained today. So nobody has the right, you know what I'm saying, to just be judging, you know what I'm saying, other people, when it's like, in all actuality, you yourself aren't perfect. So it's like, look, like, work on yourself. Get yourself all fixed up before you start, you know, tripping on other people. Ask, seek, knock. So he says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be opened. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Right? He's like, or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, no, and that's another thing, yo, is like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm evil, okay? So, don't get it mistaken by saying, yo, there's like people who aren't evil in this world. Because we are here on earth, regardless of who you are in the eyes of God, because everything is broken down here, we're all evil. You know, we have good in us. But if we're not completely good and haven't done anything wrong, that makes us evil. So he says, because you are evil, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law of the prophets. So this ask, seek, knock, that's one that I've experienced as of recently. You know what I'm saying? He says, like, ask and it will be given to you. Like, if you ask for bread, like, are you going to give your child a stone? The answer to that is like, no. Like, if my kid's hungry, like, I'm not about to make them eat rocks. So he's saying, like, look, like, you have evil tendencies, yet you do things that are good. Well, if God, you know what I'm saying, if you ask things of him, how much more do you think he would do for you? And for me, I experienced that because I was putting a lot on the line in terms of my future, right? And I have a feeling you guys will see soon, but I won't say too much. But for me, I wanted to be on the show America's Got Talent, and I've been going at that for like 4 years, you know, and I was just looking for some type of way to get exposure so that way I can, you know what I'm saying, chase the goals that I have in life. And it's like, I mean, there was times where I got frustrated with God, where I'm just like, dude, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What is the plan? And I would just say, you know, when am I going to get that moment where I get to, you know what I'm saying, really go after what it is I want? And of course I have my own plans, and he has plans that are better. And again, I'm evil. So it's like the plans that I have, you know, they can only be so good, but he sees a lot more and understands a lot more than I understand. And because of that, you know, I kept asking for the bread, and he didn't hook me up with a stone because I was persistent with it. You know, he came through. So that's one that I've personally experienced. And that's why I say everything in this book, man, if you haven't been able to get your hands on the Bible or be able to read through it, man, like, once Jesus started talking, this dude is hands down just the GOAT, bro. Like, everything he says is truth, is fact. Like, I will debate that with anybody, man. But before I start rambling, let's continue. So it says, the narrow and the wide gate, all right? It says, enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. You know, and that's basically that whole thing where it's like, yo, like, you might see it like in middle school or something like that, where like everybody is doing like the same thing, but it's those few where it's just like, nah, like, nah, it ain't really the move. Like, what was it? Nah, because I'm gonna start rambling. Let's continue. True and false prophets. So it says, watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes? Now he's dropping bars right here. I might ramble on this one. He's dropping some serious bars. He says, by their fruit you will recognize them. All right. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes? No. Do people pick or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. And like I said, everything this man says is true, man. It's straight facts. These bars have withstood the test of time. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit, you will be recognized. Bro, if there's anything you take from this chapter, definitely hold on to that one. Always look at people and judge them by the fruit, not by what they say, you know? So these bars he's giving is knowledge for life. If you're talking to someone and they say, you know what I'm saying, oh man, I love to do this, I love to do that. Okay, hear them out, but judge them based on what they do. That's called their fruit, right? So if a person comes up, and I'm gonna give a dramatic example. If a person comes up and he's like, yo, like, trust me, girl, like, I'm a super nice dude, you know what I'm saying? I like to, you know, cuddle, have a good time, you know, all this different stuff. But then when you see his fruits, he's going out in public and like talking down to the waiter and like calling people trash right in their face and like looking like he's about to smack people and stuff over some like petty stuff. It's like, bro, your fruit don't say you the cuddly nice type. Your fruit is definitely telling me, you know what I'm saying, you got, you know what I'm saying, you got stuff that you have to work on yourself. That's the whole take the plank out of your eye, right? And it be stuff like that where it's like you don't know how aggressive you are and stuff, yet you be calling other people out like, yo, man, you need to chill, bro. It's like, nah, take the plank out of your eye, work on yourself, you know, and yes, it's good to give constructive criticism, but don't judge others, you know. But in terms of that, the trees with the bad fruit get cut down and stuff, man. Like, Jesus is talking bars, man. You need to cut down any trees that are around you that are bearing bad fruit. Because I know, you know, we all know the story where the girl eat the poisonous apple or something like that. Snow White or whatever, man. Just avoid bad fruit, man. True and false disciples. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the ones who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. You know, and this is him really putting a exclamation point on the fact where it's like, yo, people can talk and say whatever, right? People can say whatever they want, but it's where's your heart at? You know what I mean? What are your intentions? What are your motives, right? Because some people want to do things to look cool or to look a certain way or to look apart, right? Like, okay, and this isn't me bashing anything or bashing anyone, but you know, there's some churches where it's like where people go, they try and dress up, you know what I'm saying, a certain type of way, and it's like their focus is more on their appearance than the messages that are being taught, right? So basically the point is, like, Jesus will say to some people when they're like, yo, all right, you know what I'm saying, I'm here, I got my passport, how do I enter into the gates of heaven, right? He's going to look at some of the people and say, I'm sorry, but I never knew you because your heart, you know what I'm saying, wasn't quite where I was, you know. Yeah, you was trying to do things, but it's like, What matters more is the heart. Remember that. The wise and foolish builders. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. It's basically like, yo, do what's necessary, you know what I'm saying, to soak in these words, man, to where your foundation is sturdy. So that way when the winds come, you don't knock over. Like I said, for me, like with the whole America's Got Talent thing, like I did not know, you know what I'm saying, if I was going to be able to get an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to see if I can get on the show and everything. And it's like there were moments where I remember telling my dad, like, I would be dropping songs and stuff and they wouldn't be getting any streams and stuff like that. And it was frustrating, you know. And I remember telling him, like, look, man, if this next song I drop, if no one streams it, man, if it's not doing any numbers, like, I'm done. I quit, right? And if my foundation, if my faith wasn't in this whole belief where it's like God's gonna pull me through this, he's gonna show me the way, he's gonna bless me for my patience and for me trusting in him and not trusting myself. If my foundation of that was just built on sand, I would have tumbled over and I'd probably be an insurance agent or because I ended up getting my license in insurance as like a backup plan in case all this didn't work. So who knows, I'll probably be working some other job instead of chasing my dreams. But because my foundation was built on the words this man says and actually trying to put these words to practice, I was able to find strength in those moments where I felt weak, where my foundation felt like it was going to crumble. It actually stood through. So be like the wise builder and not the foolish builder. So when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, because he taught as one who had authority and not as their teachers of the law. Bow. So that is chapter 7. We knocking it out, baby.